We are here on the Mixed Media Podcast where we talk about all things related to art and anything that we have even half an idea. Today we have a very special guest that I'm genuinely excited about. This is Candi Milo. She's been a voice actor or it is such a privilege to have you on. Like I'm gonna just out myself a little bit. Like some of my earliest like drawings as like a 5-year-old that my mother hung on to are of me as a scientist. And I fully attribute that to your impact. Oh my God, I'm a little at a loss for words. It's been a while since I've been at a loss for words like this, but thank you so much
You're
for the positive
you're so
impact.
welcome. I will tell you, that is all Gendy, who is such a mad creator.
Mm,
Really, truly, just a mad scientist himself with creativity. He's truly a genius, and he continues today with the work that he does with Sony.
yeah,
His it's just his sense of humor and his sense of kind of wonder that is just entertains everybody.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I do love his work. He's got such a super eye for detail. I got to work with him one time, like doing inking some work for him, and he's got such an eye of
Oh
detail.
wow.
Like if I were to like miss like an angle of a line by like a pixel of a width, he would be like, "Hey, that's too straight."
Yeah, yeah, and like, I'm glad it comes from where it comes from, but I don't know what drives him, um, other than I think that he is had great success very young, and it didn't seem to go to his head like other young creators did, and
Mm.
he just continues to do great work, and I just absolutely adore him. I think everything I mean, I was doing work prior to that. I started on Tiny Toons Adventures, the Steven Spielberg show. That was my very first audition, which was very heady to talk about. On an audition, I didn't want to go on. Like I was like, I'm not interested in this. I really felt like voice acting was a bunch of old people doing cartoon voices. Because it never. I grew up on Looney Tunes. I grew up
Mm.
on Adventures of Penelope Pitstop, on Fractured Fairy Tales. We never thought about the Jetsons. We never thought about who did the voices. That was never like what it was. So when I thought about it, I was like, from the perspective of a kid, anybody that was 20 years old was old. So
Yeah.
all I thought it was like, and so as I grew older, they were like really in my mind old, and I didn't want to do that. I came to LA to be a singer, and I wanted to sing rock and roll. And I had come from a kind of a showbiz family. My dad was in vaudeville. I have much older brothers and sisters, and he'd be in his hundreds if he were still alive today. And so I grew up in this time where I wanted to be a singer, and I knew that if I could be a backup singer, if you did that job really well, you could get a record deal. Being a backup singer, most of the
Okay.
record people coming out were backup singers.
Huh.
And they became huge stars. So that was my focus. And I had been hip pocketed by William Morris. So I had this huge um, commercial career, and they wanted to take me on to be a voice actor. And I was like, this is weird. So I went into the office, I went into a large closet. It was reel to reel tapes, which is so strange, but think about it, reel to reel tapes.
Mm.
And they would cut pieces of your audition. They would then splice it off, put it on a new reel, and send that in an envelope for somebody else to put on their reel to reel player and play. But they would splice all of the William Morris auditions onto one um, reel. And
Huh.
so I got this audition. I did the audition and I got a call back, and I went to Hanna-Barbera. And I went to Hanna-Barbera in a sort of like a ball gown and glow in the dark army boots, all stuff I had bought from Aardvarks. I did not want to be there. I just really didn't want to do this. So it was my protest. And, I read the sides. I had to really audition for Andrea Romano, that um, they asked me to read a children's story, and so I did the 3 little pigs, and I made them suicidal, but I made the wolf kosher, and I was like, and I did this, and I just did all the voices in my head, and I didn't really read, I just told the story and did all these voices, and, Spielberg was there, and as
Hmm.
I walked out, he kinda stopped me and he said, "You're really good. You should be doing this," and I thought, "Okay. All right, thanks so much. Do people tell you you look like Steven Spielberg?" And I left, and that was kind of the beginning of discovering that who I really was a singer, actor, comedian, and that I
Hmm.
had had a lot of improv experience. I had worked at theme parks. I had worked at Marriott's Great America. I had worked for Disney in doing like live shows. And I could get all of that in a session. I could do that. I'd always been doing voices. I'd always been imitating people and just being strange. You know, had always been bigger than life. I was really heavily influenced by Saturday Night Live. That's all I ever wanted to be was
Hmm.
on that show. So I kind of went into this in the mid 80s like whatever, I'm just going to do this, whatever. And I've never left. I've just never left. I'm kind of being forced out now, just ageism.
I
Um
got her.
yeah, cuz the world has changed, and you know what, I'd be honest with you, I'm really okay with it. It's everybody else's turn at bat. It's their turn to do this. They know where to find me. We all audition. Rob Paulson has said the same thing, who's also
Yeah.
so brilliant. We're all auditioning, but they know where to find us.
Hmm.
And it's now the new generation. It's some young person's turn. So we are not fading, but we're doing other things. I find it hilarious that the amount of grandmother roles that I get now that I've done Granny from Looney Tunes. Like the proportion, guys. It's like the proportion of it is like 500 to 1. And
Yeah.
I'm like, am I not auditioning for the teen boy anymore? Am I not auditioning? And they were like, the patterns of voice have changed where they're using real guys with weird natural speaking voices to be the little boys, or they're
Hmm.
using real little kids. And I'm like, so now I'm creatures. I'm on Dora the Explorer as these grumbles, and I am Granny. And then they've re-upped Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. They've brought it back. It's coming back, and it's called Foster's Fun Time. But it's been created for the little littles, the tiny humans.
Yeah.
And Madame Foster is back. And I said, "Are you going to bring?" Because I did the voice of Cheese as well, which
Hmm.
is my favorite character. That's what I love to do, and he's one of my all-time hit pick favorites. And they were like, "Well, we brought Granny back, or Madame Foster back," and I'm like, "It's just another old lady. Could you bring back like the Cheese, who is just this moron who, that all the fans love this kid, or even Coco, so I can make money just saying, yeah." So that's where I kind of sit now, but I think I have a good perspective on where I've been and where I think voiceover is going.
Yeah.
And
For
I,
sure.
yeah, and it's been the most fun I think I have ever had, guys. I have been able to laugh um, for 39 years. I've
Yeah.
just laughed.
Yeah, and that's got to be like the most amazing realization to have. Like
Yeah,
so many people go to work absolutely hating everything about it, and
yeah,
you get to be one of those rare
yeah,
people that you know. While you were looking for your earbuds, I'm like, bro, if I am half that animated in my
Yeah.
60s, like I will have lived a really good life.
I will tell you, yes. And I will say that it is, I have to give this up to my mom. So my dad was a nut, like a
Okay.
full-blown stand-up singer. Like if I told you, if you think that I have been doing this longer than you've been alive. Imagine my dad performing in the 1920s and 30s as a child
Mm,
with the likes of people like Liberace, da, da, da. And he
yeah.
was just this Bronx born guy that had been in show business. In my storage unit, I have his travel trunk. Like he was
Oh, nice.
literally like born in a trunk and was good friends with Debbie Reynolds and Martha Ray and all these people you have never heard of.
Wow.
Like,
Not
and
wrong.
my mom was the guiding force. And she used to say to me, that a lot of moms used to say, "Oh, you get more honey than with salt, and be sweet." And it
Yeah.
wasn't that. My mom said, "You are the life inside your canoe, and your canoe is going along the water."
Mm,
And a lot of people row toward the current, so they get where they're going too fast and they don't get to look at the scenery. Other people are taking their oar and rowing against the current to go back to where they were. She said, "Your life would be served beautifully if you used your oar to push against the rocks, to push yourself out of danger, out of trouble, away from weird people, and just see where your canoe takes you." And that's why I think that I'm not angry and shriveled and weird, because I have just embraced the laughter. So, no, I didn't get to sing backup
yeah.
stage, which is
Yeah.
fine. I have had a really varied career before I got into voiceover, and
Mm,
all of it has been fine. And I have to say, it provided me with an income. I was a single parent. I just had my daughter married off. It's a,
yeah.
se-
Yeah. You told me about that.
Yes,
Congrats.
thank you, and it was a really great, it was like a mega elopement and a micro wedding. So it was
Okay.
just like 40 of us in Santa Barbara, and it was really great, and I reflect back on the friends that I've made, lifelong friends in
Mm,
voiceover, and how we're all still friends. We miss the group records. That there was literally nothing like that. I can't explain that to you. There's literally nothing like it on the planet, especially at Cartoon Network. I mean,
yeah.
those were wild days. And I've never laughed harder in my life than to do Codename Kids Next Door and Mucha Lucha and Dexter's Lab and Foster's Home. And then you'd hang out and somebody would be coming in and casting would come out running before you could walk to your car and say, "This person didn't show up. Can you come in and read this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Johnny Bravo." And like those days were where we just would wet our pants laughing. We would just be laughing the entire time. We'd all go to lunch together and come back and do whatever show it was that afternoon. And it was, I think, the greatest time of my life. And we're all still friends. How weird is that?
I,
How weird
I'd
is
say it's
that?
more wonderful than weird,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah. Do you see the difference between this and on camera? I don't see years and years of friendship. I mean, you do see it with the older dames of London, with the Judy Denches and the late Maggie
mm,
Smiths and all of that, how they were all friends because they started in the theater. That's what I think of voiceover as, that this is filmography's theater. We're all theater. We're all carny folk. We're all weird. We all, at some point, wanted to be something else, you know? And we just kind of ended up here, and we don't judge one another. It's not what you wear, it's not your jewelry, it's not what you drive. It is total acceptance. We've all been in each other's kids' lives their entire life. Um, it's a pretty amazing thing, and it's like theater of the mind. That's what we do. It's like we're all in theme parks, like
yeah,
performing on the streets of Main Street for Disney, only we're
yeah.
behind microphones being idiots. I love it.
That's great. Absolutely love that.
Yeah, you've been
I've
there,
not
and
allowed you to ask me any questions. I'm sorry. I'm a babbler.
no, it's
We're
great. I love listening and I love learning and I love like hearing the stories. And I'm like, man, you were there at like such a pivotal time from like Hanna Barbera
Yeah.
as it transitioned into like what we know
Yeah.
as the Cartoon Network today. And I'm like, that's crazy looking back.
It was absolutely insane. And I want you to know what it was like as a young person. my early to mid 20s, driving up to Hanna-Barbera with the Flintmobile from the Flintstones into the side of the building, and to pull up and be greeted by a guard who would one day turn into one of the best voice directors. Colette Sunderman started in the parking lot and ended up being this amazing voice director and good friend of mine. It's insanity. And to walk in, and then the lobby looked like bedrock from the Flintstones and Hanna
Wow.
and Barbera. They had offices that you could go by and look in and just wave. And, you know, we worked with Fred Seibert, who was young and was driving things like Cartoon Friday, and he did all the shorts, and they were raiding the coffers of Cal Arts before Disney did, even though it was a Disney school. And it just was the days of, we were just turning over, you guys, we were just turning over the Mel Blanc. That's how long they went. The Mel Blancs, the June Forets, the Don Messics, these people were in our sessions. They were really elderly. And I remember I worked with Mel Blanc, and on one of the Tiny Toon, by Steven Spielberg Presents Tiny Toon sessions,
Mhm.
and he was a little lost. He was very feeble. He was brought in by his wonderful, devoted son, Noel. I mean that sincerely. That guy is just was gold. And Mel was just kind of sitting there, and they greeted him, and he switched on and every single one of his characters in a row. And I just sat there next to Don Messick, between Don Messick and Frank Welker, with Rob Paulson on the other side, and said, "Oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to ride this as long as I possibly can." And then one by one, they were gone. And we lost some amazing voice actors and actresses in their 50s um, to cancer. And then we had
Mhm.
voice prints that we kind of sounded the same, with the same sense of humor, that kind of thing. That was, you kind of fit into a groove. And, we did go through a lot of the people that don't have the multiple voices, um, and they served well. But then you'd bring in me and Jeff Glenn Bennett and D. Bradley Baker and all these people that could whip out cartoon voices and just be hilarious on the fly. I just think that's amazing. And I did get in right as it was switching over. Um, and now I am seeing it through as we have another iteration of what I think it will be going forward. And I have great hope. I think we're going to try the AI thing for a couple of years, and then people will be sick of it
I
because
completely agree.
yeah, because it's soulless. That is
It
what it is. It's
it really
completely
is.
soulless. And I don't care how good they get, you can still tell. And people will always want great storytelling. And if you hire writers that use Chat GPT, and you get people, I see it a lot on TikTok when people are asking you to train Chat GPT and put in ideas. And I'm like, why would you train something to replace you? ChatGPT sucks because the input that they have is AI generated, and it's soulless. And then you give it ideas, and they're going to take your ideas and give it to somebody else. And then they're going to
Sure.
charge for it. But I have a great feeling about this. I think it'll be 2 years as all the tech bros buy all the studios and fire everybody, and
Mm.
to cut costs. And what I think it will be is independent cartoons, independent films, independent television shows, and they'll use the large studios to distribute. And that's what it will be. I see the end of streaming, um, the end of apps, because you're not going to buy Peacock that has three things that you're going to watch, and then buy HBO Max because they have three things that you want to watch. You're going to go back to cable where they have all of that, and you'll just pay it all in one bundle. Because if they bundle it, who's going to buy it all is going to be Disney, because they're the only ones with the money. And I suspect that they're going to be broken up as a monopoly within the next 4 or 5 years. And I
Yeah.
just, we'll be back to where can I watch it all in one spot? Yeah, it's called cable TV. That's where you can watch it all in one place without paying $6 here and $7 here. And so I think it'll be a few years though, guys. I think it'll be a few
Yeah.
years before we see this, but I think that's where we're
No, I'm
headed.
not gonna
I think
lie.
we're
Today, I am tired of streaming, and I've gone back to buying
tired of it.
DVDs. I'm just like, I want to
Yes.
own what I watch, and if I like the show
Yes.
enough, I'm gonna go buy a
Yeah.
DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I think that is what's happening. I first of all think that for a streaming service like Netflix, so their promise of the premise was all a lie. Like everybody's going to cut cable and da 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 da. All you see on Netflix right now are shows that they buy outright from another country because they
Mm.
don't want to pay residuals. They are, in my estimation, I call them a great money launderer. They seem to have $10 million though for all of their male comedians do
Okay.
these, except for Dave Chappelle. Not any of these people could fill an arena. All of those people that are at their shows are plants so that they can film it. They don't have anything. They buy the Great British Bake Off. They buy Outlander. They buy The Crown. They do produce some stuff, but it's all very limited. And I think that the goal is to get rid of the actor, to not pay residuals. And this was never their premise. They were always paying. And then the Screen Actors Guild merged with AFTRA, and this woman who worked for AFTRA left after the merger. I think she was fired, and then went to work. She was in charge of all the accounting, and she went to work for Netflix. And she wanted to get rid of residuals. And so,
Mm.
what the payment plan that is put into place now through Netflix, other than the male comedians that they pay millions of dollars up front, is the very contract that she got fired for, which is the Uptown contract, which is if we gave you a lot of money up front as a buyout, what do you think that you'll make off of an episode? We'll give you that up front and then you never see another dime. That's
Ooh.
their, and like somebody like me in my 60s, viable, could live another 20 years, 25 years. I live
Mm.
off of my residuals. I
Yeah.
do. And so I think you'll see this be put into place. And then I see you as somebody that is a great aficionado for art and like what you love, you do want to own it. And I think we're going to go back to that. You're going to want to have your DVD player, be able to save a show that you saw on cable and save it. Um, and, go back and watch it whenever you want, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, like with digital content and streaming in general, like that's inherently, especially when it comes to like video games. Recently, we've been hearing
Right,
a lot of the idea of you will own nothing and like it.
right,
Because like most recently, a good example would be like Concord, where it
right,
sold, X amount, and after about 10 days, the owners decided that they were going to, just cut their losses, refund everybody, and pull it by force off of everybody's digital libraries.
right.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's something they
yeah,
can do with anything at any time.
right.
So yeah, that
And one of the things that we have with residuals is that you have something called a reset. And that is that you get a certain amount of money and it dwindles over time. Like I just received from doing Jimmy Neutron, I played Nick Dean on that, and through
Mhm.
Jimmy Neutron, I um receive residuals, and I just got all. I think I did 36 episodes out of the couple of years that we did of that show, and they're now down to paying like $9 per episode.
Hmm.
So what happens is you'll go back up, not to the original, not ever past $200, but you'll go back up, and those $9 times 36, it will reset, be $90 per episode. And that is something that I can live on. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean? So
Yeah.
the way that it works, it's just insidious for somebody to say, we want to pay you once. And what they have been so clever about putting in the minds of the layperson that doesn't understand this is money that we're taking from you the consumer. And what it is profit sharing.
Yeah.
So we take SAG minimum. We take the minimum you can pay us in the hopes that it's a success, and the studio makes money off of it, and then we participate in that because we've taken no money up front.
Okay.
And so if it dies, we don't get any money. If you take it
Mm.
off, I mean, I did Pig Goat Banana Cricket, which is a show that was so strange, and I'm so in love with it. And they pulled it off the air, and I
Mm.
will never see another dime for that.
Oh.
So yeah, would I have loved to have been bought out of $6,000 an episode, and we made like 25 episodes? Yeah, but my hope is that one day, in the recesses of somebody's sick, twisted mind, they'll revive it. And then I will see residuals off of it, profit sharing. So I think, I do think I've been doing this so long. I feel like somebody's ancient grandma, but I'm really not. I'm actually a supermodel. I just think the pendulum will swing. And I think the only thing that we will retain from this pendulum swinging this way is the wonderful the way that the doors have opened up for young people and people of color and people of, you know, all races, creeds, genders. It's all amazing. That's what I love. That's, I think, what we'll retain. But I think everybody from these dark, weird times of tech bros buying Paramount and buying Sony and buying all these things, that they don't know what they're doing, and the creatives will be dormant, and then we'll be back with a vengeance, funnier than ever.
Yeah.
Because,
It's a really weird time.
yes, you have a lot of amateurs doing all of this drawing. Remember the times on Facebook when people would take tests and
Yeah.
it would tell them who they were? That
Yeah.
was
Yeah. That
Facebook
was
data mining you. And I was like, that's what AI is now, is these young guys and gals thinking they're artists and drawing with AI and putting it up. And when you kill art and you kill animators and you kill background artists and you kill storyboard artists and you kill people off, there is nobody to make this shit
Yeah.
anymore
I
except a computer.
I love like weird art, but it's hard to find that kind of like weird, like out of left field stuff nowadays. And especially not
Yeah,
like algorithms just push it all down. And I'm like, I can't find this. I have to like have someone recommend it to me and like be like, oh, that's a cool movie. I would have never found this on like Amazon.
exactly. 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 And I say, I think artificially, movie theaters have been kind of screwed over. Just know that in the old days, in the 30s and 40s, Metro Goldwyn Mayer owned all of the movie theaters.
yeah.
That's why you only saw certain movies in the theaters, and then that became like illegal. So these tickets, and you know, I think that
Welcome back.
we'll be back, but I think it'll be a while,
Yeah.
a little bit.
It's gonna be a weird time for a little bit. Like I,
It
I
will
honestly
be.
think that I honestly think that a lot of movie theaters are going to lean more on like older movies than
Uh-huh.
uh like I remember last May, uh rather than spend a X amount of money on getting a new title in that nobody's probably going to be interested in, they played the Phantom Menace
Yeah.
for May the
Yeah.
4th, and that was like the fifth highest moneymaker that month, which was
Yeah.
absurd. But if it works, it works.
Yeah.
I think a
Yeah.
lot of people
Yeah.
are
And
going to.
I think that is what it is. I think that is how it is going to play out for a while. And then
Yeah,
I think that I think art will become, rebounding back, only because I do Comic Cons and I see the hunger for
oh
real
yeah,
artistry and real people coming out saying, do you think they're going to bring this back? And the joy when I say, hey, whatchamacallit, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends is coming back. It's literally tears where people
mm,
are like, "Oh my gosh, that's so great!" And I used to come home from school and watch it, and I think that's when it will be. But we're not there yet, and that's why I said be on the lookout for independent animators, independent
yeah,
people saying, "I'm going to make this and I'm going to sell it," because I think that that's what Ed McCracken is doing with and I'm not sure, so don't quote me on this or don't hold it as like gospel. I
Yeah.
think that's what's happening with Foster's Home is that he's got he's almost like an independent contractor with them making this for Cartoon Network. Um, and I just think it's actually recorded a couple and it's so good. That's all I'm going to say to you. It's like it's so good and it's so cute and it's just the way to get the gang back together. Yeah,
Mm.
and I just think it will just take time.
Yeah.
That's all it is, and people can't rush it. Think of your canoe. Don't push too hard, or you'll pass by all the weird little lessons that you're supposed to learn while you're on your way hurrying to where you're not supposed to be yet.
Mm.
So I think that it is going to happen though, and that makes me very happy.
I think
Yeah.
But
one of the big
go ahead.
signs that I think the pendulum is swinging back the other way is like when you look at the Joker movie and how it had big stars like Lady Gaga. It's the Joker movie built off Batman. You think it would be a big success, but it's like when you hear about it being a big flop, you're just like, oh, that's people want that artistry back.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
they
that one,
do.
I
And
was to
you know
say
what?
that
The issue is, and I'm sorry to cut you off. The
it's
issue
okay.
is it's sequels. That's the drag. That's what people are tired of. So imagine the AI on sequels because they don't have any interesting screenwriters, animators drawing new stuff. So they're going to AI you to death on sequels. That's why it flopped. Nobody
Mm,
wanted to see a sequel. And then
I don't.
and then they made it a musical. That's
Yeah, that
really
was
a
the
tough
weirdest
sell.
decision.
Yeah, I was weirdly optimistic about it,
Yeah.
but then we found out that the director to it, I'm forgetting his name. Apparently he had a specific interpretation for how he felt the first one should have gone, and
Right.
when the audience interpreted it in a completely different way, it clearly upset him. And there were articles going around saying like that basically he wanted the audience to know that this was specifically like a fuck you to them, and that is not how you get any kind of like.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Oh my
it was
gosh.
bad. Like you could
Yikes.
not.
That's
I don't know where he was
wild.
going with that, but I don't know. I'm loving like looking back at like old stuff now, and especially I don't know. I'm waiting for like that future thing that's gonna get me excited for what the next generation is gonna bring. I don't think I've seen it yet, but I feel like it's
Yeah,
around the corner.
it's coming because I think people are afraid to be trained. They're afraid to train in a medium that no longer exists. You know what I mean? Like
Which
it's like and I see this whenever I speak at colleges and they're like, 90% is non-union. And I was like, yeah, there's a lot of people that ride the current of working for the union and then are FICOR and ride not. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't train to be an animator. I don't think that is going to go away. I don't know. Maybe I'm cautiously or weirdly optimistic, but
Yeah,
I don't see that going the way of like bye bye because I see the people lining up for the original Tinkerbell who did nothing but pose for it. She was a little girl, and her line at Comic Cons is out the door because people remember what it was like to clap and applaud to bring Tinkerbell back to life.
mm,
And it is that kind of a thing. You can't take the Disney animators out of our zeitgeist. We grew up with their Jungle Book. We don't. It's why it flops when it's live action.
yeah.
And I love everything Disney, but that stuff flops when you do live action. It is not what people want to see. We don't want to see another Moana. We don't want to
Mm,
see another Lion King called Mufasa or whatever. The father. We don't want to
yeah,
see it.
yeah,
Nobody wants to
yeah. We
see
don't want to
that.
find out that
But that's
Mufasa was adopted.
right. And I think that what ends up happening is they get these animators and creators on like a retainer. So they are paid to do several movies in a row and they've already been paid. So they're going to get their movies out of them and they want what worked. And you know, I that's why I thought that the South Park episode where they did the metaverse, where it was
Yeah.
like everything was just nothing was original. And I think that it was why it was such a big kind of slap in the face to Disney, where it's like, we don't want this. Nobody asked for, these live action and this thing. It's because they want to milk the people they've already paid, and get the money that they've paid them, get their value out of it. So I
Mm.
think, but I'm optimistic, because the pendulum always swings. It takes a little longer for Disney to swing, but they're awfully good at what they do. They're pliable.
Mm,
They can
Yeah.
swing in an instant faster than I think anybody else.
I think we're
maybe.
we're seeing some like wanting to go back to the old ways, especially in like you see people wanting to make practical effects for movies again, or people wanting to film on actual film, or they're taking like
Mm.
Yes.
vintage like 100-year-old lenses and adopting it to modern like digital cameras, and
Yes.
it's a lot of
Yeah.
work, but people want to do it because they want to feel like it's a movie from like
Yeah, the first
1970s
example that comes to
or
mind
today.
is Poor Things. Like
Yes.
the
Yes. Cut out.
Oh, he's. I think we have Storms around here. I have Storms. He's probably also might have
Oh,
Storms,
goodness. Yeah,
but
I
yeah.
was just gonna say that, yeah, I think that people are, looking for things, that everything old is new again, and that everybody is wanting to go back to a medium that affects them. And I just don't think that, um, and where I think we've been for the last decade plus is amateurs. And I think people are tired of amateurs and people that don't know what they're doing, copying people's art, copying people's um, uh, their livelihood, and out of fandom, thinking that they're suddenly artists when they are simply fans. And it is, and I think people are looking just for um, just more professional originality. I think that's what we're missing, and I think we'll find it. I'm not concerned. I don't mean to sound glib or mean. That's not my intention at all. But I do think that
Oh yeah. No, but
we're
you're
we're
preaching you're
tired
preaching to
of
the
the
choir.
amateur.
You're preaching to the choir
Yeah,
because
we're
like
tired of the amateur.
yeah,
Aren't you tired of amateur art? I'm
it's
tired of it. I don't want to see somebody steal Gendy's stuff and then
Yeah.
try. I don't mind that they do, but try to make a living off of it. It's
Yeah.
not yours. It's
yeah.
not
Yeah,
yours to sell.
I'm definitely tired of this formulaic stuff that they
Yeah,
keep putting out.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that doesn't work for me at all.
Right.
But I'm pleased to see that there are still smaller studios that are putting out original works that are genuinely good.
Yeah.
Like like there's one I've been kind of working uh I've been working to try to I've been trying to get access to like their entire library, but right now it's going through like the right now it's going through like all the film festival circuits and stuff will be available when they're done. But there's one group I've been focusing on called Surgeon Studios. Uh,
Oh, interesting. I've
right
not
now,
heard of them.
right now they have a few credits. Most of them are like short films and a game. And
Cool.
the first movie of theirs I saw, or that's been released publicly, was called The Whale. It's only about a 30-minute short film. It's got 3 characters, but it was so refreshing to see something that was so well thought out and
Yeah.
just earnestly displayed. And like,
Yeah. I, I
yeah,
I will say that the independent studio, I'm telling you, that is the wave of the future. I think Titmouse is doing still some great work.
Oh,
Bento Box.
I tried to work there.
Say
I want to
again?
work there. They do good work.
They do really good work. I just want you to
mm,
know they
Yeah.
do really
yeah,
good work, and
yeah,
they're clever as heck. They're a bunch of nice people. They they seem to get it, and they are just wonderful. They love actors. They love um, experimentation, and I just really think that that is what we'll get. I mean, I've never known South Park to miss. And when they had put out the thing about the metaverse, or whatever the
yeah.
title of that was, it really really spoke to people, and people were talking about and then starting to laugh like, "Oh my god, yeah, I can't watch another this, and I can't watch another that." And I thought, "Wow, they really tapped into, the exhaustion from, um, not ripping off because that's not right. It's just the homages, and we are done with people, um, fan arting because it has begun to cost animators their job. And
Hmm.
that's when I'm like, I get it. And I get that you want to do it. And I think your stuff is really, really great. But the powers that be will always hop on somebody who's willing to do it for free. They will
Sure.
always hop all over you. And if unless it doesn't pan out, and then they will never know you. They don't remember who you are. They don't know you. So I because it's still at the day's end, it is still a business. So I have great hope. I had been interviewed, and I can't remember who interviewed me for uh, um, my opinion on AI, and I said that I thought it was not long, and then I got a lot of blowback from somebody who was like, "Oh yeah, apparently it is like taking your job." And I said, "No, no, no, it's taking up space. It will never take my job, but it is taking up space, and you are talking about it, but I still haven't seen anything good. I haven't
Yeah.
seen anything where I go, "Oh my god, I cannot believe that that is AI." I haven't seen it yet,
Yeah,
and
even the best
we're
AI.
not going to see it.
I'm just even starting to get tired of AI. I'm just like, all right, but it's like the algorithm is feeding it to me, and I'm just like, all right, but it's not good. I don't want to see it, and I don't know how to
Right.
block it because it's just annoying.
Right.
Yeah, you really got to cater your feed.
Well, it was interesting. I was with a bunch of nerds last night. I was at my cousin's house, and all of their 4 boys, are all in tech, deeply in tech, and, they were just we were just chatting, and one of the daughters-in-law came up to me and grabbed my phone and turned it off, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, was that TikTok playing in the background?" And she was like, "Yes, and you have just told the algorithm that you would like to watch that 45 times." I never laughed harder in my life where I was like, "Be careful what you watch when you see something you don't like. Don't do anything but pass it on. Just pass on it. Don't say uninterested. Don't do anything." The algorithm learns by what you leave your phone on. And I mean, this guy was so weird. And I think I started watching it, and then I stood up, have a conversation, and then one of the wives came over and brought me my phone. She was like, "Thank you. You just told TikTok that you'd like to see this guy 45." And my feed this morning is filled with him. You're welcome.
Oh,
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
filled with it. And I was like, and she said, just pass on it. Just don't say anything. Pass on it. Don't react. That's why they always tell you follow, click, like, do whatever, because if you have any reaction whatsoever, the algorithm goes, "Oh, you this affected you in some way," and that's what they want. They don't care if it's good or bad. They just want the affectation. So I learned last night, and then sure enough, my darn is
yeah.
filled with this weird guy.
If if
mm,
if like especially Facebook is really bad at this. Like if you see something that makes you angry, Facebook is like, okay, that keeps you here. We love it. We're happy.
Yes, keeps you engaged. It keeps you engaged and enraged. Just remember that's the goal.
yeah.
And I have to be busy in my canoe. I cannot be engaged and enraged anymore. It's not nothing is ever like, "Oh, it is what it is." That's not what I'm saying, but I won't be enraged. And for a long while, I had to take just a sort of a brain break from social media, other than last night when I let this damn video play endlessly. That I was like, "Oh damn, oh damn, what did
No,
I do?" Ah.
I let my
So I
guard
got
down for 1 second. Damn
yes,
it!
and it's killing me, killing me.
Yeah, that's the I want to delete Twitter so bad because it just like ruins my day to be there.
Yeah,
But then at the same time,
yeah,
like as a creator, I have to like be engaged on there and I have to go in there and I have to tweet things and
You
do all this
do.
stuff.
You do. I was talking to a good friend of mine, Yvette Nicole Brown, who's just a genius actor and just an all around stellar human. And I said, all the stuff that's come out about, how it's all skewed. I said, I come on to Twitter and there is so many arguments and I want to scream at people that that is a bot. You are
Right.
arguing, you are engaging with a bot. You're not
Right.
making anything. I don't know. I mean, there was this outrage about over the election because a person said that Joe Biden should resign. And then everybody said, I'm not voting for you. And I was like, everybody you're talking to is a bot
Yes,
telling
and
you,
the
here's a good
comments, the main
idea.
post, it's all bots.
Mm.
It's all bots and it's all done. We have to look at where did Elon get the money? Like where is this coming from? Because that as much as that's like, oh God, that's so political, it's important because it's real. Where did
Yeah.
he get the money? Who is creating these bots and how is it affecting? But I bought the blue check because I wanted to see if my follower count would go up and it didn't. It went down and it went down because I won't buy ads.
Oh wow.
And
Yeah.
now they see me because I bought the blue check. They
Mm.
see me, so they know I'm not buying ads. And I was talking to my daughter who's pretty sharp and she was like, "Yeah, you're going to lose. I think I lost like 500 followers." And I was like, "Well, that was unexpected." And she said, "Well, it's because they now see you." So they're now not quote unquote watching you, but she said they see you and they see that you're not buying any ads and you're not playing the game. So I just had somebody from TikTok, I mean not TikTok, Twitter, well, what do we call it? X reach out to me, say, let us help you with your ads. And I was like, I'm a voice actor. I don't have any ads. If you're not going to pay me, I'm not going to promote your studio film that I've done for you. So I think we can be done. Like, I don't have any ads. I have a book that's coming out in February and I might buy ads there. It is the only reason, guys, that I'm not off X. It's the only reason I'm not off is because I have a book coming out in February. So I'm
Oh nice.
like, I was like, I can promote it on there, but mostly the my publishers can promote it. They will take over my account and do what they do. And but other than that, I would be off. And I did say that I wanted to hang in through the election and just do as much political pushback as I could, pushing towards truth and all that kind of good stuff. That I said I would hang in and not leave people in the lurch. But I think once this book is launched and they decide to put it on the publisher feed, which is interesting, rather than my personal feed, I think I'll be a much happier camper.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I think that's the way to go. But yeah, that's not great. I enjoy TikTok. Um, I One of the things that the young woman said that I could do that I will pass on to you. It's like my special little treat to you is that you can reset your algorithm by going in and clearing your history and it will reset it. You might have to hunt for the people you like, but it will reset
Oh,
your
I've actually done that before. Yeah, I've had to do it because sometimes I just go down like weird rabbit holes. Like I just wanna
yes,
like see something and then just know a bit about it, and then the next day it's all I have, and I'm just like, I just wanted
right,
to
right.
like take 5 minutes to learn about something I'm uneducated about. I don't want this to be
Thank
my
you.
identity.
Right. I would like to, yes. And that is, I stupidly did last night, but I will correct it because probably today I will get on at some point after I clean up Halloween. Um, uh, I haven't taken down my decorations yet. And I said, I will probably go on and just clear the cache, clear it and say, let's just start over because that is the same thing. I don't want to be known. I can't. I can't do this. And I think people are just waiting until Tuesday to clear it all out. And then there are some people that I don't ever want to see again. Like, I don't want to have this. I want to get back to the people. All right, here is just little Candy Milo here.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the video where the people are laying down and they say hello to their spouse, and it looks like only their head is popped out, and these people jump 50 feet. That sends me into such joy that I should probably be in a mental hospital because I laugh so hard at like the fake spiders hanging down. I love all of that. And I want that. Or I want the people in the bubble T-Rex costumes running down the street. That's what I want. That's what I
Yeah.
want TikTok to be again. And just leave all the drama to the professional drama queens. I don't want that. I want to laugh again. That's how much I miss group records. I just want to laugh again, in the privacy of my own home at people getting scared to death. That's just
Yeah.
as sad as I am. I am just a sad human being, but I do love
Not
those.
I say not at
And I
all.
don't
Listen,
see enough of that.
there's nothing wrong with catering your feed to something you enjoy. There's nothing sad
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. There's
Like,
not like I am the mayor of TikTok where I have to be on call for everybody's anxiety. I would just rather just be like, hey, I would like to see some heads in hallways and some men and women jumping 5,000 feet in the air and me laughing myself to where I have to go into the bathroom because I peed my pants.
All right.
That's my idea of pure joy. That's
yeah.
the closest that I can tell you I get to a recording session. That's the closest is like these stupid feeds where they're headless or I don't know. I love that. Those are to me, or the dolls that are that they've got on strings or something. So somebody's watching TV and then a doll sits up and these people are I'm just
Just freaking out.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing right now that that's what I miss. And so as of Tuesday, I will get rid of all my political feeds and go back to stupid videos.
Yeah.
That's what I
There
want to
you go.
do. And so what's going on within your world as far as you see animation and um like where do people see the future of animation going these days? What are you guys hearing?
I want to say maybe something like Jack Staubert, who just kind of just a dude that just
Yeah.
makes it all in his bedroom.
Yeah.
But he brings back like stop motion and like
Cool.
weird VHS CRT kind of effects with his stuff.
Yeah.
Has like a vintage. So that's one
Yeah.
of the things I like watching with Jack Staubert.
That's so great.
That's
And
like,
is he unsold? Is he
I've seen him do some work every now and then with Adult Swim, but for the most part, he just does it for his YouTube. Oh, and
yeah.
also Has Been Hotel. I don't know if you've seen that,
for
but
sure.
that's taken like a lot of old voice
Oh
actors
my
and bring
god.
them back in like a new way. And it's like, oh, this is everyone loves it.
Oh my god. And I was not really interested in that. I remember auditioning for it and I didn't get it, and I was like, and as punishment for not picking me, I'm not watching it. So there you go. I'm
Oh,
just going to be bitter over here, table of one. But the
come
voice
on.
actress on that is Jessica Vosk,
Yeah.
which is a Broadway singer who has the most incredible voice this side of Barbara Streisand that I have ever heard in my life, and she was Elphaba on Broadway, and that is another rabbit hole that I've gone down on the Talk of Tick to listen to her sing over and over again, and that's what got me to watch it. That I was like, I need to see who this young woman is, who this person is. I need to see this because she is truly, this is truly a voice that is a once in a lifetime voice. Once in a
Mm,
lifetime voice. I've never heard anything like this. And I am now hooked on that. I think Has Been Hotel is amazing. So
same.
clever, so well written,
It's
so bitter, so like right up my alley. It's amazing. Agreed. That I
mm,
love. That
yeah.
absolutely love.
Oh yeah. No,
That is a good one.
I think that's
genuinely.
And
where the
who does Has Been?
Spindle Horse.
horse.
Oh, that's so great. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be where
that's
everything's
so
at.
great.
Like the passion is on YouTube right now. Like because I mean you really can't get your foot in the door
Yeah,
because when I was in like Cartoon Network Studios
yeah,
or I ran across the road to see Mike Lazo. the scripts on his in front of his office at the time. He just had like 500 shows right on his desk, just waiting for him to be like, let's make this one. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't think people are gonna like make it that way. I think if you want to make a show you really love, like YouTube right now is the way to go. Like, so like that's that's where it
I
has been
know this
until
sounds terrible, but yeah, and I said somebody had said to me, "You should make a YouTube channel," and I was like, "Yeah, I have a life. I don't have 50 hours out of the day." And then I went, "Yeah, but I think if you want to work, you have to get on YouTube and make a channel. You can make a channel of your own material." I don't know. I know that they're kind of like now going, you have to get licensed. I don't know if that's true, but I know that I have seen the greatest stuff on YouTube. Um, that, is, I think that is the way to go. And I just think that that's the way, that's the hub. That's where you present it. That's what I'm saying. That's where you present it. I don't think it should be I don't know if it should be where it lives. I don't know if people can make a living from that. But I do think that that is your hub. That's the new, what do you call it? Like the new pitch deck. That's where you go to
yeah.
Hmm,
pitch is,
for sure.
right.
You
That's where we'll go to pitch.
you build an
It's
audience there, and
wild.
then you move it somewhere where there's money at, and that's pretty much what a lot of people do. Whether
Yeah,
it's like
that's what has been
Yeah.
Hotel
And
did.
that's what I was saying at the Yeah, and that's what I think is the deal with so right now the independent producer is yourself. If it's animation, it's yourself. Your pitch deck, your where you present it is YouTube, make a little bit of money and let somebody buy it. And I really do think that is what's going to happen in film and television too on a grander scale.
oh yeah,
Um,
being
I do think that is what's going to happen.
being Puppy Cat was that they got a first like season on YouTube, and then Netflix picked it up, and I'm like, I love because I
Yep.
love like small animation like that. I'm like, yeah, that was perfect like symbiosis there.
Yeah. And I think we saw the genesis of that. Do you remember the shell, Marshall,
Oh
oh
yeah,
God, I can't
Marcel the
remember.
Shell with Shoes.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
by
was a
A24. Yeah.
silly, yeah, yep. But that started as a dumb little. And it was just somebody doing this little thing from, were they Cal Art students? I'm not sure. But it just took off. And then they got a big, um, funny woman to do the voice. And it just was, it just took off. And that is to me where I first went, wow, this YouTube is going to be something if this young person can pop this in here and get it sold and get it sold. And
Mm.
that is the way to do it. It's how we make a living. But we've been hearing this, for years. If you couldn't get arrested in, animation, people would say you have to go and do your characters online and just do this and do that. And it was the way to be seen, and now it is literally the only way to be seen is to have something on YouTube. I think that is the way to do it. But I do remember that success and saying, "Wow, this is the future." So if they mess with us, we can just get online and do it ourselves. It just is not easy, and I don't. You have to become built for it. We don't necessarily come built to be doing this stuff, but you have to learn. It's how we all learn to audition from home, and then we learn how to perform from home. Um, it's not easy, but it's not impossible.
Completely agree. Like,
Yeah,
if you're willing to put in the legwork, you can get just about anything done.
yeah, yeah. That'll be very, very true. Very, very true. So, yeah, I think it is trying to figure out what the new what the new situation is before we call it a day, like we don't know how to do it. I forget, I saw a little kid screaming out, "I can do hard things," and I was like, "God love you, I can't." but apparently you can. I cannot. I
Yeah.
refuse to do hard things. That's why I have agents. I refuse to do hard things. I don't. I do hard things. Dang it. As much as I hate it, I do hard things.
Yeah.
This like, how hard was it for me to get on damn Discord this morning? And you're like, "I've sent you 9,000 friend requests," and then I couldn't log on. And they were like, "This already exists." And I was like, "I know it exists. Please accept my thumbprint telling you that it is me trying to log in on an account that I know exists because I am me. I am the account that exists." And I was like,
Yeah, we've seen
"I
this thumbprint before. You're clearly a bot.
Exactly, and I had to change my name because it was, like, not shy 2042 or 2937, and I was like, "Who picked that?" I think that was me doing, a really fun Discord, and I will tell you guys a really fun person to talk to who's also a filmmaker is Mark DiCarlo, who played
Okay.
Hugh, Jimmy Neutron's dad on the Jimmy Neutron. He is a
Oh yeah.
riot, and he's an on-camera actor that came into voiceover. He's so brilliant, and he did a really beautiful rendition of Pinocchio. And with the war in Ukraine, all the animators were Russian, and it all got caught in Kiev,
Oh
and it's all caught in Moscow, so we can't get the art out. But it is so brilliantly told. It is so brilliant. It's so gorgeous. The art is absolutely beautiful. But we had done a Discord on Jimmy Neutron because there was I forget what the anniversary was. I don't know if it was the 20th anniversary of it, and we were on there. And so I got on Discord, and it was so fun for me that I was like, the people who were hosting it were like, "Candy, you should do this." I want to call them all now and said, I couldn't get back on. I couldn't get back on with my own, like, my putting my thumb down on my own computer. And they're like, "This account exists. Fair. I know the account is all understood. How's about if you let me on to my account so I can get on with these boys? Can we just please do that? Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank
no,
you."
that's clearly way too much to ask.
When I said, "Jesus Christ, I didn't know how I could get on." You're like, "Accept my friendship." And I'm like, "What's your freaking handle? I don't see you." And then it's like, "Oh, you have asked me 50 times. I just didn't know that that was you." And now I'm better because I'm
No
on
worries.
and we're doing it, and it's very fun. But I do love Discord because I just prefer a place where there's not a lot of pressure,
Yeah.
um, and there's not a lot of strangers. That's what I like. There's a
Mhm.
lot of there's a lot of people very interested in what we're talking about, or they wouldn't be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I kind of like about
Yeah,
it.
I think
It's like,
Discord is going to be like the future of like social media, just because it's moving away from like out there screaming at everyone and just very curated to like here's 10 people I want to talk to and only those 10 people, like kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like anybody can make their own
yeah,
server, and you can invite just the people that you're interested in interacting with. That way, you're not having
yes,
some bot or some
yes,
absolute idiot stalking you, on Twitter or whatever, just
right,
making things weird.
right, right, right. Right, and
Yeah.
I'm like a 1,000%. I found 1,000% for that, just because it is so. I mean, it's been. I think it was 2022 the last time I was on, and I had it on my phone, and I kept thinking, I wonder if I could just do this on my phone and plug in my microphone, and then I was like, no, get on my laptop so that I can relax a little bit. It'll be better, and I was like, oh, next time I'm just going to do it on my phone because I have a feeling that's the platform it was meant for. These are people that know. They're probably all 12 years old that know better than I do. This is sad, but
Yeah, close
true.
enough.
Sad but true. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, yeah, but I do like it. Just so you know, I just can't believe I had as many issues getting onto it. But I do think this is the way to go.
It's
Yeah,
fine. Like during like our one of our first couple recordings, like it took me a week to figure out this microphone I'm using.
yeah.
So so
So
don't beat yourself
funny.
up
And
too
then
much.
why okay, good. I feel better because that's just weird. Like,
Yeah.
what happened was just, like, so weird. But, yeah, and Do you have weather where you are? You having some situation?
Oh yeah, that was me.
Yeah, it's
My
been
power.
No. Where are you?
Doxing myself. Southern America, somewhere there.
Oh, cool, cool. No, 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 I got you. Don't give shit away. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, there is weather starting here today. I have a feeling we're going to be in for some fun Mother Nature. I think we're going to do
nice.
some fun Mother Nature stuff. And by fun, I mean hold on to your panties, girls, because it's
yeah,
going to be fun, fun. Because we had rain yesterday, which was not predicted in Southern California. It was not predicted.
oh
And
yeah,
I drove home from seeing my cousins in Newport Beach, not that far from me, not that big a deal. And it was pouring rain so that I couldn't see where I was going. And it was not predicted because when I left, I could smell it. Does that sound weird? I could
No,
smell the
not at all.
rain. And
Uh,
I was like, it's going to rain. And so I said the magic Siri word, like, is there rain in blah, 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 where I am? And she was like, no rain predicted. And I am telling you, I could not see driving home. It was a driving rain.
yeah,
It was just driving towards my windshield. And I thought, oh, I can't wait to see what's going to happen next.
yeah.
And
right.
today is
All
very
right.
blustery. And I bet it rains all week.
I,
Yeah.
I want to
Well,
jump into
hope.
something right
Wild.
now, real quick. Something, a
Yeah,
fun
please,
little game.
please.
Since we got you here, that I think will be a good
Yes.
clip for later on. I want you being Dexter. I want you to check out and rank rap bars that talk about Dexter's Lab, and like put it on a tier list: A, B, C, F, or S if it's just like, oh, that's the best rap bar ever. Do you want to play this game?
What is rat bar?
Just
Wait,
rap
wait, talk to
lyrics.
talk to me.
Rap lyrics.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes,
Let's do it.
yeah. There's a. I've
Oh
gone
my
through. There
God.
are
That's like
so many that just reference Dexter and Dexter's Lab. So I'm like, you know what? I have to do it.
what
We
is
have you
that?
here. What's that?
Yes. Wait, I'm turning on my let me just pull up my volume so that I can let me just pull it up. Okay. Here we go. Yes, let's play, mother. Let's play.
All right. So you'll rate them A, B, C, or F, or if it's good, you can give it an S tier, which means it is just the best of the best. I
Hmm.
have 9 bars here.
Stellar. We'll call that stellar. So
Stellar.
A
Yeah.
is like the best. Okay. A is outstanding, correct?
Hmm.
Yes.
A, B, and so what is just so I know because I may have to rank them as Dexter.
Go
Yes.
So
for it.
Yes. You can
Dexter
do
would
that.
want to know
That's
That'd be
completely
perfect.
brilliant
that
content.
I believe that is what everybody wants to hear. Is they want to hear what the Dexter feels about rap lyrics talking about Dexter, who
Yes.
would probably in a rap battle beat everybody that he could possibly beat. But let's go ahead, see what you got, wussy.
All right. All right. First up,
I'm
we got
smiling so fucking hard right now.
First up, we got Young God. We got Young God. He said, "Oh my God, oh my God, I'm Dexter. I'm the smartest motherfucker on the planet. Fuck Jimmy Neutron. I'm the smartest kid in the motherfucking universe. Oh my God, I'm Dexter. Dexter's Lab. What do you
I
rate
have
this?"
to say right now, I would rate that as S for stellar. And I want you to know that I often said I am Dexter, but genius. So when the little tiny Jimmy Neutron came out with his pointy little head and said that he was a boy genius, I have to say I will see your stupid inventions and raise you six stupid babies.
Perfect. Perfect. All right, let me pull up the
Thank
next
you. I
one.
thought so myself. Next one.
The next one is from a ski mask, the Slump God. He said,
The slump god, he doesn't have a lot of friends, does he? I don't think so, but go ahead.
okay, Ski Mask said egg yolk colored diamonds, Humpty Dumpty horror story. Feel like Dexter got double D's in my laboratory.
And I was hoping that the way he was talking about being so sassy that perhaps he was Dexter the serial killer from that show on HBO. But that sounds like he brought it around again and that he gave it to me to bring it home, dudes.
I will still say that the other guy is stellar. This is what was the other one? A
Uh,
B C F.
yes,
I will give you.
Yes.
I will give him B. I will give
B.
him B
B to ski
because
mask.
Mm.
yeah, yeah. It was just it's okay. It was not great.
Yeah,
He had the like.
Mm.
I realized he mixed
Uh,
up cartoons when he says double D too. I'm like,
yes, I know who Double D is.
Isn't Double D from Ed, Ed and Eddie?
yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, thank you so much. I know my cartoons. I'm also a huge fan of Ed, Ed and Eddie. FYI, that was my go-to cartoon.
It was a great series.
It was a great series. It was
B.
so stupid. It was great. That was a great series.
All right, next one.
One of my.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
jump into the next one. Next one is XXX Tentacion says bend her
Okay.
backwards. I might pass her. Homeon Casper geeking like Dexter.
Like Dexter, let me just explain something to you. You are only the geek I know. I am not a geek. Let me just say something. Be careful with that word because I will fry you into tomorrow with my space laser, Nanda. All right, I will give that. Started off rather misogynistically with bend her over backward in case you didn't see in case you didn't think I heard that bitch. But I did, Dexter. I heard it. And Dexter both slightly no, but I will give that lower than the second guy. So I'll give it a
Boo.
B. C.
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 All
Boo.
right,
Yeah,
perfect.
boo. Boo, you suck. Boo.
All right,
Let's
next
do the
one.
next one.
Next one is Lil Uzi Vert. Long legs like DD. Lil bruh, just like Dexter, but she knows I'm a flexure.
Oh, yeah, that's stellar. Because everybody knows that Dee Dee is a head on two toothpicks. That is basically what she is.
Yeah.
And all of her brains is in her tutu. So that's all I'm saying right now is that gets a stellar because nobody ever talked about the Dee Dee's legs, and they should because, yeah, that is where she keeps her superpower in the toothpicks that she calls her legs. Thank you.
All right. This one is Future, no, Young Thug. But it's just
Didn't we have Young Thug? Oh, so is this the same Young Thug that we gave a stellar to? Is this
that was Young
no? That wasn't Young Thug. What
that
was
was
the
Young
first
God.
one?
This is Young Thug.
Young God. Oh, they need to take the young. We got Young Miami. We got Young.
Yeah, they're all young.
Yeah, I'm young too. Damn it. Okay, go ahead. So this is Young Thug.
This one is simple. It's just codeine laboratory. I'm like Dexter.
Okay, I like it. It's simple. It's to the point. I'm going to give that an A too.
All right, we got A.
Yes.
All right, next up we have Blanco.
Okay.
I'm in the lab. I'm in the lab like Dexter 2. You ain't know I was with D. A-D.
AD, AD dude sounds like a plumbing company that used to be on television. They used to have commercials that say AD do it. I don't understand why you would have a plumbing commercial, mister, and then talk about Dexter's lab. So I'm just going to have to give you an okay on that one. What would be a grade for that's okay?
Either C, yeah.
Yeah, C's
C.
All right, C. We got C.
Yeah, it's just okay. See, like most of DD's grades. It's okay.
All right. Next up, we got Takeoff, who says dab dab on top of dab. Takeoff in the kitchen like I'm Dexter's lab.
Okay, I do love the dab. It's my favorite kind of dancing. So I have to give this an A. I have
An
to
A,
give
there
it
we
an
go.
A. I do because I do. It's an A. Everybody relax. I dab. I'm dabbing right now. I'm dabbing in my house. I'm dabbing like I do. I'm dabbing like a grouse. I'm dabbing every day. I'm dabbing every night. I'm Dexter. I
We got
challenge you
Dexter dabbing.
to a fight.
Oh,
That was awesome.
all right.
Thank you.
I've got some bad ones coming up. This one is G Easy, who just says I be in the lab like Dexter. You're fake as polyester.
I love that he believes because he's in the lab that he's real. So he's in the lab. I don't understand what he's making, but I give him props for being in Dexter's laboratory. So I will say, though, because it's a little easy on the lyric, it's not a lot of rhymes, I will give him a B. Or
B.
get better. Get better. Get better, baby. Get better.
All right, and last one is Lil Pump. Just says I might sexter. I'm geeked up like Dexter.
You'll never get the girl that way, you stupid moron. Here's how you get the girl. You say E equals MC squared, and then you give her a little wiggle and a wink, and then she's yours. But the thing that you're saying is just basically you're so stupid. Stupid. Now, if you can't win her over, then what you got to say is omelette au fromage. And then you will get her because French.
Right there with you, bro.
Just give it a little wiggle and then say, baby. So I give that one because it was, there's not a lot of work on that. He didn't work very hard to do the rhyming. I'm going to give him a C as well. So I think that my favorite one was the first one, and then the other one, which was a stellar. I have my own opinions. I am Dexter, boy genius. It was the one that putting down Jimmy Neutron. That we love. Because,
Yes. On God.
Forget
oh
that.
my God, I'm Dexter. I'm the smartest motherfucker on the planet. Fuck Jimmy Neutron. I'm the smartest kid in the motherfucking universe. Oh my God, I'm Dexter. Dexter's Lab. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that is it. That is the most stellar one because somebody understood the assignment. Understand? He understood the assignment. And the assignment was figure out how to make Dexter from Dexter's Lab the most important genius in the whole world.
All right. Boom, that was perfect.
Okay,
I love
right.
that.
What do I win?
You
And how
win.
soon can you deliver it to me?
You win a rap lyric, and I will mail you your rap lyric in the mail soon.
But yes, thank you so much for playing. Oh no, that's me. Thank you so much for playing. That's me.
That was like so fun. I had done it. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I did a TikTok that my daughter was like. We did Slim Shady as Cheese from Foster's Home, and I did.
Yeah, like cheese sounds like this. It's very flat affect. And I was doing, I'm the real cheese shade.
did a whole thing, and I think it is the only thing that I've ever had that's gone viral. Where people were like,
Nice.
"Oh my God, did Cheese who can barely speak? Did he just rap?" And I was like, "Yes, he did. Yes, indeedy, he did, folks. He is there. I do. I mean, I do love it. I do think I'm waiting for Eminem to rap for me, and then I will be able to die like fully. That is what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for someone to like do a little rap with Slim Shady because I think he needs to do that for his daughter Haley, who's having a baby or might have
Aw,
already just had her baby. Yeah, I think he needs to rap some cartoon lyrics.
that would
So,
be
and
nice.
yeah,
Might hurt
rap
his
a little.
image a little bit, but
I know, but I
he
think
tries to
all the
cater
people.
to. Yeah,
Yep,
he
he
tries.
does. But I think out of all the people who might not give AF would be would be him. Like
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
you'd
think
think.
he would be like, "Here's where I am now. Get over it. I was that." But
Mm.
no, I think it's great. I do love it. I was was trying to think of another one, but I think we tried not to. Speaking of derivative, we tried not to be derivative and do another rap thing because we had done it, and then I looked at my daughter is Gabby, and I looked at Gabby, and I was like, I don't think that's good, and she was like, you can't top what you did, and I was like, no, you cannot. So why don't you shut your face? We cannot. It's over. It's done. It's finished.
History.
That's another problem with the algorithm. When you see like
Cheese.
you get one success and like the algorithm just wants you to keep repeating that thing. It's crazy.
Yes, and they call it being in your lane. And
Yeah.
I did burn out, and I haven't, but with my daughter getting married, we haven't done a lot because they um, planned their wedding around a family member who was not well, and he was elderly, and that he wanted to make sure that he was there, and so they kind of did this 7 month slapdash, um, like one step above an elopement kind of a thing, and we couldn't game. We didn't have the energy either of us to game the algorithm. Like we couldn't get. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And then I just said, why don't we? Which is kind of fun. Why? And I stopped. Why don't we just stop for a minute? Why don't we just stop? Figure out what shows I'm going to be on coming up. What I've got. What's happening, and start afresh after you guys finish all of your stuff. Like this is and I think that's really healthy, but it gives me a chance to say, I think we're going to do this, this, and this, and we've got some fun ideas. Yeah, it became very stale because I will tell you what's hard on TikTok, and that's nostalgia. Nostalgia has to be done by somebody else other than you, or else it's weird. You can't
Yeah.
say, "Remember when I did this?" It doesn't. There's something about it that doesn't fly. So it was hard to do like the whole nostalgia thing, and I was like, and not like I'm getting bored of it. I will never be bored of my cartoons. I'm being very, very honest. I'll never be bored of what brought me great joy to do. But we have some other ideas coming up, and hopefully they are stupid enough for people to laugh very hard. That's what the goal is just more laughter. But I think we're going to wait to see, let the political thing on TikTok like swing around, like let that finish, let it play out, and then we can get back to stupid. So
Hmm.
we'll be back. It's what we said. Hang on for stupid. It's coming. Hang on, it's coming. I
Good motto
know.
to have.
I couldn't get on Discord. Yeah, I couldn't get on Discord. Let's not forget that. So
It's
when I said it
fine.
has to wait, yeah, I can't. It has to wait until Gabby gets back because let's remember I couldn't get on Discord this morning. What is your name? What is your name? Where are you? What is your name?
And it was, yeah, when we were sending emails back and forth, like it seemed like, I don't know what things were like on your end, but it seemed like I wouldn't receive yours until I sent another one. It was it was just
Yes,
dumb.
and I
There
want you
was
to
there was a
know that
lot
I
going
was
on
planning a wedding. Yes,
there.
and that's really what it was, and
Oh, that's cool. Oh,
that's why Gabby and I were like, we don't want to do anything right now because I can't concentrate. I just finally yesterday slept in for the first time in like 10 months, that I just
Damn.
like collapsed and slept in and was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that is over and it went well and it was so fun and we had a blast." And I am absolutely breathtakingly exhausted. And I
No
know
doubt.
that you are not the only person to say, "I don't think you read my email all the way through." And I was like, "No, didn't." I'm like, "Are you booking me on?"
No, it's
And
fine.
you know that I am like, so I am the girl that um takes care of her own stuff. I don't have a manager, I have an agent, but I have several agents. I take care of my own schedule. I do my own thing, but like I have
Nice.
52 emails that I haven't read, and 3 of them have to do with my book that's coming out. Like I was like, oh, I probably should get to that and start making a plan to pick the cover. Um, so I mean, it's like one of those where I just said I am very, very capable until I am incapable, and
Mm.
then when I'm incapable and I've got nothing, I still pretend like everything's fine, and it just really wasn't. I bit off more than I could chew. I was going to go to somebody's house and sing, and he was like, "I'd love to hear you do X, Y, and Z." And I thought, yeah, yeah, Gabby's getting married in 4 weeks. I can learn this song. And I was like, I cannot learn the lyrics
No,
of
yeah,
any, I
it's
can't. So, and then I had to say, I'm sure you're angry. I'm sorry. Like this was a whirlwind of a wedding. And now that it's over, I'm back to normal. But yes, I will tell you honestly that I was glancing cursorily at emails saying, "Oh, okay, they're booking me for this," rather than, "Can you do this?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's what you meant. Can I do it?"
yeah.
Yeah. So, no. Yes, I could, but the answer was no. So, yeah, but yes, that is it. That is it. And now I also have placed Discord into a new fingerprint. So we're set.
Getting there.
We're
We're
set.
getting
They
there.
can't get rid they can't get rid of me ever again. And I already don't remember what the password is, so it's awesome.
yeah.
I'm 10
Yeah.
for 10.
Oh, that's me.
10 for 10.
And then when you're like trying to type in the password or set a new password, it's like can't use the password you've recently used, and I'm just like, I'm just
Oh my god.
Mm,
Yeah. I'm just
every
trying to
time.
reset, dude. Have mercy. I'm trying to reset. Also, your website is not that important to me where I'm going to remember this password for the rest of my life.
yeah.
So help a sister out and just let me use the same damn password. because it's what I used in. It's what I have written down somewhere. Please,
And they're like,
please,
no,
Yeah.
do
Before
better.
absolutely not.
before we go, is there anything you would like to
Absolutely not.
pitch?
I will tell you, tell the people who are your fan base that I'm very excited about the new Foster's Home. It's called Foster's Fun Time,
Mm.
and it is a little kids show with Blue as the moron, and it is the imaginary friends as little tiny kids.
Okay.
And the thing about adults is, I mean, little kids is they love it when adults mess up and they do something wrong and they can correct them. So it's a learning show, but it's from the mind of Craig McCracken, who is a
Nice.
genius. And wait, I just lost my earbud. Hang on. He's an absolute genius, and I think that's beautiful. And I'm
Mm.
also doing a lot of granny stuff. I have The Day the Earth Blew Up is coming out in February, and I'm very excited. I'm really proud of my work on that as Petunia Pig to Eric Bauza's Daffy and Porky, and it's amazing. That's Pete Browngart's stuff. He's really good. He's just really good, and I love working with him. And then I did write a memoir about how I grew up as a child, and that is called Surviving the Odd, and that comes out in February, and that is on Rare Bird Press, and that is just kind of the story of my childhood. Just basically, my dad was a stand-up and a much older father, and in the late 1960s, he quit show business and opened California's very first home for the developmentally disabled adults, and didn't get us a separate house. So I lived as a child with 12, beginning with 12 mentally disabled adults in a converted fraternity house on the San Jose State, abutting the San Jose State campus, and until we moved next door, and then we lived next door to it. And I just talk about um, being there when homelessness began and how it is still prevalent today, and I think what we can all do to help. So that's my story of my childhood, and I had released the book um, a couple of years ago, and it was really mismanaged with with really poor management, and we have all new management and all new LA based publishers, and I'm very excited about that. And when people don't believe my story, I get to say the magic words, I have photos. So I do. I do have photos because my dad was a nightclub performer. So you don't think there was a club photographer? There was a club photographer.
Of course.
Yeah. So
Nice.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So I'm looking forward to that coming out in February, and kind of doing a book tour with my publishers on that. They are kind of these cool, groovy guys. They
Mm.
not only run a bookstore, but you touched on it, and I forget which one of you touched on it, but they do books on vinyl. And
Yeah.
so I'll be doing my own books on tape, but I want to give as gifts and give as like like the stupid door prizes. I want to give books on vinyl. I just think that's really great. It was how you used to be able to listen to books on tape if you had a seeing issue. You could
Mm.
get a book on vinyl. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I've rewritten a lot of chapters so anybody who's bought the book before can like take up the old one and thumb through it and figure out where I've corrected time errors and other things that went on with a team that wasn't as, I think, as thorough as it should have been. And I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to tell my story, and I'm thrilled if people would support me and buying it. I hope that with the new publishers, we can crack the book talk code and reach more homes that way. But thank you boys for letting me like push that, because it's really near and dear to my heart. Um,
Of
how
course.
we judge our fellow man based on a criteria that I can honestly say with all of my heart, there but for the grace of God go we.
Mm,
That is all we
100%.
are, all we are lacking, my loves, is a diagnosis, and then all our rights are taken away as well. So
Hmm.
yeah, so I hope that I thank you so much. That's so gracious of you boys to let me. Sorry, I call you boys because I'm old.
It's fine.
Um, okay, thank you. And then I was like, oh, I can't see
No,
what you call yourselves, your pronouns. Forgive me.
it's
Okay, and I'm not like being demeaning when I say
not at all.
you're young to me. Okay, good. Like,
Not at all. You're
and
doing
thank
just
you,
fine.
because okay, good. It means the world to me that I'm able to put this out there. I do want you to know I had huge problems publishing, because I talk about how it came about, and one publisher that was very big said, "Well, it's very political." And I said, "It's not really political. It is humanitarian, but yes, as far as mental illness in the United States, the powers that be hold the keys to the financing, and they held the keys to all the decisions to close the mental hospitals in the state of California. That is an absolute fact. That is
Oh
what
wow,
happened. And they
that is
closed them all,
terrible.
and they put everybody on the street. And because the thought process was that their families would come to take care of them, and their families never
No,
showed up because
of
they
course not.
didn't have families, because that's how they got to be in the hospitals in the first place, because they didn't have families. And I talk about what it was like for my dad as this stand up. That was his big, that's why they gave him a license, because he was this hilarious, whacked out stand up who was like, "Yeah, we'll just take care of everybody. We'll just treat them like family." And it's just how I was integrated in life, and who did it and why did they do it, and how it affected what we see on the streets today. And I'm not a big advocate of, well, take in your local homeless person. That's not what it's about.
Yeah,
It's just, I think if we can make everybody aware that this is how it happened, perhaps we can stop it. It's going to be very hard, you guys, to reverse it, if not impossible, because we're now talking about 3 generations of people living on the streets and
yeah,
being
God.
houseless and being, but we can at least be very careful to make sure that we are conscious about making this decisions that make this happen again, and not blaming and not pointing the finger, but blaming the right people for how
Mm.
it happened the first time, and just being cognizant. So thank you for letting me say that. There are photos. The stories are hilarious. The only idiots in the book are my family.